Yeah, I think I'll just do the streaming stuff on the Borderlands side. What was it using? It was kind of weird because like I dropped and got that. Oh, you have a gun up there.
Did you throw this like? Yeah, did you throw this gun up there? How'd you do that?
It's your TDR gun. It's you reload it and then get a new gun.
How to reload? Oh, and it just becomes a turret. That's kind of cool. Didn't know that.
All right, what are these?
I didn't even click a button when we started up. It just kind of threw it on its own.
Oh, your character was probably reloading from the last time.
Do you think it like saves the button press? Because that'd be kind of insane. My hands were off the keyboard when it threw it.
And I think it just like when you popped back into the game, the game was like set to like reload current gun in hand or something like that. Maybe it's like to like do something with some stuff.
So let's see, where were we last game?
I completely lost because like I didn't want to like run into the same story stuff again on the Moe's character, so I just was playing one of the DLCs, and I was like, oh, I got to this boss fight. I'm like, oh, this boss fight's actually pretty industry when you're not actually OP. Like it was actually kind of a challenge, and I was actually like thinking through my build a little bit.
I think we were clearing out the ship from enemies.
Yes.
Because we wanted to like leave that for the next.
Yeah, but the next thing that we're trying to do is a mystery. Oh yeah, there's the thing.
See, this is the benefit of stopping right before the next story thing.
Oh yeah, we were supposed to go up there and fix that situation. That explains why I have all these guns. I have no clue what they are. Yeah, I'm just gonna be over here doing some gun stuff. So, bro, we almost have 200 subs. Where is that last sub? Like 199. Like, how do you like say, like, well, 199? I won't be. Oh man, just like, come on, give it to me. Give it to me.
Make a 200 subscriber special. And then yeah.
And see if anybody like pops in.
On their own. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean like I was actually kind of no with the story thing passing. I was actually kind of liking my Moe's for the moment because I got a Jacob's.
Okay, so you'd wait for the story moment and then just continue anyways. I can listen to one of you guys, but not both.
I guess you should understand the story.
I ended up talking too, so I guess it didn't matter. Anyways, what were you saying? Something about bows?
Yeah, so I got, on that character, I got a Jacob sniper with I think a Bladoff barrel. So it fires really fast, and it's got like 33% crit damage bonus. So I'm just like tapping everything, and it's like, oh man. This is why I like some of the things. Oh. Yeah, I want this one. Just messing with my loadout right now. Oh, and I had like I got a shield that actually is a zero shield type of shield, and then I stacked of a longbow transfusion grenade, and so I basically just like constantly have health. So that's a nice little combo.
Yeah, it's kind of nice. I've got health steal over here, so that helps me out a lot.
One of the problems though with that setup is that character is still on the earlier side, so I'm like leveling up faster than like the usability of the grenade. And that's a problem with some of the early game stuff like this.
How's this early game? We've already got like 20 hours logged here.
Yeah, it's still early game.
How long is this game? Is this like a 400-hour game?
It depends on if you do the DLC or not. The DLCs are about a quarter, like they're all story based, and they're about a quarter of the size of the story.
I'll tell you right now, I will not be able to survive 400 hours of this. I enjoy it, but it's not that enjoyable to me. I've got like 4 games I've ever played with more than 400 hours in it, and I don't think Borderlands is going to make the cut.
I put Balex in the thumbnail.
I don't know who that is.
The robot that was just talking, that's voiced by Ice-T.
Oh. I don't know their names, man.
Ah, I leveled up. Neat.
I hardly even know Lilith's name. This one's Lilith, right? Can't tell. It doesn't have a name over the icon.
Ooh, legendary grenade.
Probably Lilith.
Red Queen. I guess I'm in
They have got to stop making us go back and forth. Okay, no, this one's a fast travel, so I guess we can do that from the thing, right? The orbit view.
Oh, I got a grenade option. Level 26. Alright, so that's rubberized, and that's supercharge.
Man, you know, it'd be pretty cool. One of these games would, I can't even select this manually. I swear to the UI in this game is so bad.
Yeah, it is very flaky.
I'm gonna wait for you to get out of the menu too before I can fast travel. But anyways, it'd be really cool if one of these days they let us go to like a non-rock planet, like a liquid planet or something, or a giant hurricane planet, and then you're just like gliding on hurricanes for the whole time. That'd be pretty cool.
Oh, so you wanted to play B-sequel essentially with the low gravity stuff that was on a rock moon. It was on a rock moon.
Okay, but like I said, a liquid planet or like a hurricane planet. Can't just like throw rocks there in the mix, you know?
Maybe
I want to be like snowboarding on these hurricanes while I'm shooting down people.
I guess do you like the Lovecraftian aesthetic in any way?
I'm not like partial to it, but I don't hate it. I much prefer it over Wasteland aesthetic.
I was gonna say Ice Lovecraftian aesthetic is the one DLC that I was playing earlier today. When we can always jump into one of the DLCs and just like come back to it, whatever.
Come back to the main. Yeah. We might do that at some point, but not today.
Not today, son. Not today. We're playing the base game.
How long are you gonna be in that menu?
It's just deciding if I wanted this thing on or not. I have no clue if I actually want it on. Plus, I got a token.
Well, let me know when you're out. Gonna start making my shopping list for tomorrow.
I probably won't go with any of these shields. I think my one shield is fine for now. It's got the shock damage, max health. Well, this one's got. Besides an amp, the nerd's got absorb a power charge. Heal plus safe space. Deals knockback. Yeah, sorry.
You're good.
What's this? Yeah, so that's that grenade. Omni-lock, Omni-load, Omni-death, Omni-loader. It's that crit damage bonus. That's the one we got from this little mission here.
You ever heard of the game Bellwright?
I have not. Tell me about it.
I don't know anything about it either. Apparently it's been on my Steam wish list and I just got an email about it being on sale. So yeah, I don't know why, but if I put it on my wish list, it must have looked good or something. Oh. Never mind, it's early access. That's why it's there. I'm waiting for it to not be early access so I can consider buying it.
Alright, we're good. I say that as I realize I got points to spin, but I will get us to the other area first.
I don't know, I've just been in like a real survival crafter mood lately.
What if they had a Borderlands survival crafter?
That wouldn't be very interesting because you'd just be crafting with just sand. Sand and dirt.
It would just become rust essentially.
I mean, just look at the like. I hate the post-processing stack they have, where it just dims all the colors. Like, let's just throw on like a super Skyrim filter. Actually, that does remind me. Have you seen Skyrim with its like post-processing stack on and off?
I have not. Why?
It's insane. I never realized just how like gray they made the game, the default game.
Does it look better
It's pretty
without
bad.
it?
No, but you can get a mod that makes it look 10 times better because they have like, I don't know. I guess the mods did some sort of new post-processing stat. Makes the game look clearer. I was just looking at this. Like, this one's got a pretty like interesting green-gray filter, which I don't care for, but it's still nothing compared to the Skyrim, where just it's awful. Yeah, like base Skyrim's actually kind of not that great. They've slowly upgraded it over the years, as we all know.
Yeah, it's like in retrospect, I always think about, oh, there's this game. In the case of things like a Skyrim's, like it's very, as mentioned, gray. I just kind of think of it as it was in that weird transition period of kind of going from like PCs really dominant to like consoles are still really dominant. So it was like kind of like that transition period.
Yeah, you're right.
Oh, we got to do this goober mission.
What in the world? Why are there a million of these?
So we have to use.
Oh man, I got like hiccups now.
So we have to use the Why can't I swap it out? So we have to use this gun to hit the specialty targets. Well, the specialty targets, they're always in the same spot and they exist. You just can't only see it when you look down the gun sight, and it's not a very good gun.
It's the rogue sight gun?
Yes, that's a quest gun. So you can shoot the targets without it, so and they're always in the same location. But it's always like a thing with like this game, like with the speed running, you have to like know about it.
Did we get a car around here?
Yeah, there's a catcher right over here.
So have you seen the new, what is it called? The Grand Theft Auto stuff?
I want to say yes, but
What do you think of it? What do you think of the whole Grand Theft Auto 6 thing happening?
is that a thing where they like, oh, there's the girl's butt all the time?
Whoa, okay, that was pretty weird when I got out of there. I have no idea. No idea what you're talking about. To be honest with you, I only seen like half of the first trailer. Didn't even see
I
the
only
full
watched
thing.
like reviews of the trailers.
But I do find the hype around it kind of interesting. Like, why am I crouched?
There was also, I think they are saying that the game's going to be like $100 on its launch.
Oh my god, seriously?
I think that's what some rumors
Whoa.
were. I mean, Randy Pitchford came out with
Really?
at least Borderlands 4 saying it's going to launch at $80, even on Switch.
That's insane. To be honest with you, as interesting as Grand Theft Auto is, I'm just not going to be buying a new one.
I mean, I literally
mean-
never paid for GTA 5. They got it free, like, through whatever Epic Games nonsense, so...
Yeah. I mean, that's because and this is why, that's exactly why I'm not going to buy Grand Theft Auto 5, but it's because of how they're monetizing it. Like, I'm not really big into participating in the whole live service microtransaction stuff. And I just know that's exactly what Grand Theft Auto 6 is going to be. You're going to get in there and they're going to be like, buy your shark cards. Don't you want to get
Yeah.
a Lamborghini online?
Yeah, that's how they just, like, made...
It's only like
billions.
100 real dollars.
They made billions off of those small children. Oh, so we do good that
They
way.
did. Literal billions. One of the few games I have monetized to that degree. It's insane. So I probably won't be buying it just on that fact alone, because I know I'm just not going to enjoy it from there. But I do think it's kind of neat that they're actually making the 6, and they've like kind of gone all out on it as far as development goes. I think their claims are what, they spend like $1 billion in development.
That I guess it's warranted when the previous game made so much. You have to like kind of go all out.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Oh, you dropped me a legendary. Neat.
Oh yeah, I got one too. It's a legendary grenade.
The class mod for flak. That's no use to me.
That kind of sucks.
And it's a lower level
platform.
too, and my flak character is already, you know, level cap.
Dang, you got scammed on that one.
Alright, so you had to use the rogue sight for this one little spot, so you can actually open the door. So you see the
mark the circle?
You see those red dots when you zoom in?
Nope.
Well, I shot 2 of them, but there's another one.
Don't shoot it yet. Let me see. Ah, okay. I see it now.
Alright, I'm gonna let you handle the rogue sight stuff.
Gee, how generous.
You're
I
welcome.
mean, if that's what you want to spend the majority of tonight on, as I struggle to do this.
You can just, you know, shoot every little like pixel and eventually find the spots.
Why are you in a menu when you know we're about to travel?
Because I was taking the rogue sight off.
We're literally looking at the door. I'm like, why isn't this working? It says you're in a darn menu. We were like 2 feet away from the darn fast travel. What are you doing?
Amber
This place is kind of cool. This is like a alien ruin off of. God dang it! Now we're going outside. Let's stay inside. That's some cool aesthetic in there.
This aesthetic isn't cool.
Nope. This is the exact same as the rest of the game.
So I watched that 32 Sounds documentary. I liked it. It's very artsy fartsy, if you know, want to use words like that.
You didn't give me a chance to ask if you liked it. You just jumped right into it, dude. All right, yeah.
Hold on, I gotta ask you the question now. You gotta ask you.
What do you enjoy about it?
No, you gotta ask you that. You gotta ask you the question I didn't. You know.
No, too late.
too late. So it is an interesting documentary that it does require headphones.
That is kind of an interesting concept. I guess it's sort of like an auditory experience or something. Is that how you call it?
So do you know about the binaural audio stuff?
Nope. Well, okay,
Really?
you're talking about like the shape of the headphones.
Yeah, like it's like you do the recording using the special freakish ears on a stand.
What? No, I'm not following suddenly. Freakish ears on a stand?
That's actually a reference to Dank Pods, but were you?
Why would I ever get a reference from some random like esoteric person? I guess. I ain't never heard of
This is
person.
so weird. The sign is like part of the texture of this post.
Hold on, I want to see this. I love examining the environment more than the devs ever expect you to.
Yeah, so like it's
That's my
clearly the
favorite
same
type.
texture, but they didn't put the sign like all the way against the post.
Whoa, you're right. What is that? That's great. And you're right. They like projected the texture on the post. That's so weird.
You know what it might be? It might be that it's actually a billboard, and it's billboarded onto that, but its billboards are done in like a projection space, so it's just also being projected onto the thing behind it,
Oh,
like a decal. That's what they're called in Unreal. They're called decals.
oh, that might be how it's done. But that's so bizarre. I also like over-examining a lot of things in games because it kind of gives me some ideas of some tricks I can do when I make my stuff. It's rare that happens, but good pastime.
So yeah, so a lot of the recording they used, if they were like out there and about, they had like the top tier, you know, microphones and stuff for the recording. And the guy had like, you know, been a docu recorder for many years, and so he was just one of those dudes that like kind of recorded everything, or like if he saw something interesting, he would stop and record it. And so he's got like not just stuff from like that was made for this one documentary, but things from like referencing other stuff, and he just kind of like put it all together, along with like deliberate things for the documentary. So it kind of just like walks through like certain sounds and like the kind of more arty tone and everything, and it's in a good flavorful way. It's like, oh, you know, it's like walks you through like the sounds. Like this sound kind of has like a thing about it, and like here's like it's something that caught my attention, and then like some would have like a story behind it. It's like he brought up this one where he actually done a documentary about foghorns in the San Francisco Bay Area. And like he ran into a guy. He's like, yeah, the foghorns mean to me like it reminds all the people who are like out, you know, late at night who can't sleep that the world is still moving and progressing and everything, and that you're, you know, not basically dead. Like that kind of was like the impression I was getting. But it's kind of stuff like that. It's like, oh, you know what? That's kind of interesting. And he did a segment in where he went and found this one lady who actually he did a whole nother documentary about her, and she was like a you know, an art, kind of like one of those like avant-garde artist types in like the 60s and 70s, and like her like current thing that she's been doing for like the past like 20 years is basically putting a microphone into rivers and recording the sound, which I thought was interesting.
Yeah, that's kind of neat. I wonder, does it actually come out okay? Because a river can be pretty loud, so I'd be surprised if that's not just like...
Well, yeah, so that's kind of like
the audio
what some of the segments are, is like sitting down and like talking about like what is this like the sound kind of like indicating and meaning. And so in that case, it was like this weird situation where, or it's not that weird situation, but it's like, yeah, even though there was an Amtrak rail, because it's up in New York, like upstate New York or something like that, and where she was living, and she's like, you know, 70s, 80s or whatever at her age, and just like, yeah, no, when you're down there, it's like all those sounds are like dampened and stuff. It was more like, it wasn't really much of a river, it's more like a little creek, that example that was used, but apparently like she had gone to other locations as well. And so apparently one of her art exhibits when she was like in her 60s, or went back in the 60s when she got started, was just like breaking glass as like as an exhibit. And it was just like done as like a stage presentation. So that's like kind of like stuff that was kind of being presented, was those kind of little bits.
Man, I sure wish I could have a job just breaking glass. I'll call it art, I don't care. That's an easy job. If they really wanted to call it art, they should have made like some fancy art. How are you dead?
Because I was screwed with this jabbers over.
But if you really wanted to make it art, you should have the artist be forced to create some really nice glass sculptures.
Ah, really?
And they have to smash it themselves.
I wouldn't even, I killed all the enemies right next to me, and it's like that I still died. But yeah, you're saying?
No, that was dumb.
Oh, this is where we are.
Yeah, just click a million things and walk around the room. This looks pretty similar to our spaceship.
Well, you know, if it works one design, use it other places. So yeah, it was pretty darn good. Definitely good headphones. Really, obviously make a difference. Just, you know, fortunate enough that I actually, you know, have good headphones for that situation.
They've got on the screen. They have Fat AI error.
Huh?
That's right here on the screen. That's what they call it, a Fat AI error.
That will age well. Well enough.
Agent D is a master of disguise and traps. And a hell of a pole dancer. Which is more useful in this galaxy than you might think.
Anyways, you were saying about the...
There was one section where they actually were trying to explain like the whole, like why you need to wear headphones. So they didn't explain it at first. Like, it was just like, here are some interesting sounds and noises. We're gonna kind of like give you an intro to what's going on, and there wasn't like a progressing story that or narrative, which was also kind of interesting. Hence the more artsy fartsy nature to it, and I mean that in a good way. I kind of feel like it's a
Don't why include the fartsy part?
I don't know. Just kind of it kind of sounds like a little, I don't know, cutesy to the functionality of it.
Artsy fartsy is the phrase you use to say, yeah, it's artsy, but it's because it's facetious or it's, you know, It's actually stupid.
Oh,
Whatever it says.
we got a rando. Oh, we got a rando of level cap.
Is that one of your friends?
Nope, I don't know who it is. I mean, that's on public, so anyone can join.
What?
What do you mean, what?
Why? Why is it on public?
It's always been on public.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
The
and this
default
is like the
is-
first time we've gotten them.
I mean, not saying it's the most popular game in the world, but
I mean, still, why is this guy zooming around at 7,000? Oh my god, he's speed hacking.
in the co-op game.
Oh my god, he is zooming around at like Mach 7. Wow, I'm pretty sure he was no clipping too.
Yeah, people
that-
have no shame.
You say people, but it's literally everyone. Have we met like somebody who plays it legitimately? I mean,
I don't think we've ever played a game of Borderlands legitimately with anybody besides ourselves.
man, everyone who joins is like caked out on the latest and greatest hack stuff, of course.
And then they have like 5 hours of game time.
I would be curious to see what the game time is. Can we? Is there like a click to view the person's Steam page? Some games have that.
Seeing as it's done to the shift side, so maybe that's more doable on your end.
I mean, shift is run, I think. What killed me? There's like a sniper.
Oh, did you need help?
No, I'm good.
You only know they're legit if they actually like complain about you not using meta builds or whatever. Oh, they left.
Oh, he left. He's probably like, nah, I don't want to play with these noobs. They're playing legit.
So anyways, the artsy, very artsy thing with no other qualifiers.
Okay. Sure.
And they had a spot where they actually were explaining like, you know, the whole like reason like what the binaural you know, audio was all about and like why they were using it. And it's like, well, that's also a part of an experience that's more realistic to like, you know, how people hear, you know. And so that's where like you get the head on a stand with the microphones in what's essentially the ears. So
Show's over, fellas. You with Clay? Good. Let's kill. Watch my ass. Time to squash these turd teasers.
turd teasers, only in the most elegant language for the most modern of people. Oh, this chest is facing the wrong way.
I'm not big into poop humor.
These inbred chokers.
There's a loot dude over here. He dropped a legendary for me.
I don't know how I ended up over here, but I guess I did.
Dang, my gun just like got up and walked away. That was kind of cool. Don't think I've ever seen a gun just do that.
I think that's probably one of the reasons that they're keeping the TDR weapons for Borderlands, because it's kind of more of a creative manufacturing style.
What are they like trying to drop manufacturers? I thought. The
Yeah, so
manufacturers
Doll
were
is
really-
not being brought over. They're just being left as a like scope type or whatever. And I think Hyperion is also not continuing forward. I love guns, says Borderlands 2 God in the chat. I got a whole lot of guns in my basement, in my bedroom, even under my pillow. I'm being shot at? Okay, here we go.
Operator. Now it's time to track down Lightfoot.
Oh, that's why I keep dying, as my one gun here does that. I have a TDR gun that's killing me when I use it.
What am I supposed to do here?
I don't know. I just kind of walked away to go shoot some people.
Oh, okay, I see.
Oh no, that's my shield that's doing the shocking part. Yes. I gotta remember, I'm actually streaming, and I'm doing things that require multiple layers of attention. I too can multitask and build the skills of paying attention while moving my hands at the same time.
Reminding you that it is your sacred duty to utterly eviscerate the heretics, especially vault thieves. And be sure to drop their remains in an offering box so you get the credit.
Let's see here. Gotta climb up this little guy. Am I going up there?
I will say I've been getting some pretty good work done on my projects. That's kind of nice.
I was kind of neglecting my actual work project that I need to be doing, which is also my personal project, I guess. Which is something I do remind myself of. It's like my actual work is also my side project, and that's kind of a nice feeling, in a way.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, simplifies things. You don't gotta have your focus split two different projects.
Yes, but I kind of got to a spot where it's like I kind of dread doing the testing. Not mostly because it also costs me money to do the testing, but the just in general, the whole thing. It's like when you start doing that kind of testing, you gotta start debugging, and that's not like easy debugging. It's quite like mentally taxing and very intense. So
Yeah.
I've been testing out that codex thing on that that CPU scheduler project that I was building for the undergrads.
Have you asked it to try to make some tests for you?
Um,
Because that'd be pretty cool. That see, make an X unit or in unit test project for me. Right, unit test for me.
well, I didn't really need tests for that because it's a GUI-based project where the students just like, you know, their
Less
whole.
about, like, it's less about needing it and more about testing it because we were testing Codex's abilities, right?
Oh, so okay, so thinking about it from actually using it as a test suite, I wonder how that works
Yeah,
for
like
like a Windows
test-
Form project. You know, like can it actually test
if
with the GUI?
Codex. Yeah, I don't see why it couldn't, but you got to test where its capabilities are, right? Because it could be that it's not capable of making its own test project.
Huh. All right. I didn't think about
I
that.
mean, it probably is, but I'm just saying that would be. Because how cool would it be to be like, okay, I don't have unit tests, I don't have a test project set up, and just tell it to do that. Because honestly, setting up a test project is kind of.
And there are kind
I
of
would
some
refer to it
things
like boilerplate.
that I would prefer not to test myself, you know? I'm ready for Borderlands 4. Are y'all ready for Borderlands 4? I mean, as ready as $80 could be, but I'm not sure if I'll
Is that
necessarily
gonna be
get
an
that.
$80 game too?
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, that's what I was mentioning earlier. I don't know
Oh,
if I'm
man.
particularly ready to slap that out on a game. I mean, even we just had Doom Dark Ages come out of like $70, and it's like I just can't eat that bill on launch, you know? Especially for a game I don't know if I'm gonna like, or if it hasn't been reviewed, or it's like it's got all these things in it or whatnot. So that's just it's kind of a hard thing to eat right away. Maybe it'll actually be perfectly fine and pretty good. I gotta imagine they're gonna probably use most of the same code base as Borderlands 3 with some graphical updates and of course, but
No way they'd charge $80 and just do that. That's like a recipe for a PR disaster.
nope, they said it. That's what Randy himself said, and there was a bit of a PR disaster that followed suit. But I think Nintendo basically kind of opened the floodgates for that, you know?
Well, Microsoft's been pushing it for a while, so has Sony, but they both failed. And with Nintendo on board, everyone is like, well, shoot, now's the chance. If we all do it, they can't say anything.
Yeah.
There's no alternatives, right?
Like
It's either stop playing games or pay the money.
I picture,
play
you know,
alternatives.
Take-Two doing it for GTA because it's, you know, an insane product.
Take-Two? You mean Rockstar?
Take-Two is the owner. I think they own the IP. I think they own Rockstar, actually.
That's how that is. At this point, you could tell me that Microsoft owns Rockstar, and I'd believe you.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure Take-Two, that's like them. Rockstar is the only reason that they're, like, alive, you know, in any meaningful way. I mean, I guess
Take-Two
other
and
products are perfectly fine from Take-Two. They technically are the, yeah, I guess 2K being one of their main subsidiary publishing arms was on the publishing side of this game. I have no idea how it's going to run on a Switch. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
the Unreal Engine is
Kinda.
pretty darn good at getting it, and the Switch 2 seems to be powerful enough for a lot of that stuff.
They're actually trying to put it on Switch? This is the first time I'm
Yep,
hearing about it.
Borderlands 3 is on Switch.
Really?
I think we can actually cross-play with Switch players.
Oh, that's kind of neat, but how does Borderlands 3 look on the Switch? Is it
It's
okay?
it's basically like, I think actually, so the only reason I know about this was MVG did a video on like compatibility stuff with the Switch. Like the PC died, but it didn't get to me the second storm, the second wind. Anyways, so basically on Switch there's just like no shadows, no ambient occlusion, lowest settings, and it's like they actually did give an uncapped frame rate setting, but at least on Switch 2, it benefits for that bit. It's a software compatibility layer on Switch 2. Like, what's with the COB gun? Why does it suck? it's kind of on level.
Well,
but,
I mean more like visually. Is it visually okay? Because
um,
Monster Hunter World is visually much better than its Switch alternative, Monster Hunter Rise. Not the same game, made by different teams, but World looks leagues better because it's on the PC.
dang, these NPCs are cracked.
Yeah, I found that it's actually better just to skip the fights.
But then you don't get the XP to actually go fight the bosses that you need to kill.
Yeah, there's a bit of a design flaw in the game.
All right, well, we'll admit these are named NPCs, so they actually got a proper title and everything.
I don't know, I'm just joking. Anyways.
Technically, chat member, the amount of dang ammo again.
I see you coming, VaultHunter. Like said, he was working with some serious muscle. I'm in a secure location overlooking a dock full of COV. Need some help clearing them out. We'll talk after. Thanks.
Have they announced what like the story is going to be about for Borderlands 4?
Yeah, so I have to tell you the story, like it actually does involve spoilers for this game, but the thing that finishes up this game sets the stage for that game. So basically a thing happens at the end of this game, and then that is like, oh well, now we gotta go to the planet where the other thing is occurring, and that's the story.
Okay, I mean, it's nice to see it's a proper sequel and not just like a... To be honest, this feels more like a tangent sequel almost. Like it's vaguely related to the last game, I guess, but since we're all brand new characters and everything, I don't know. Doesn't feel as cohesive. But then I guess Borderlands' whole thing is they don't really have reoccurring main characters.
Well, like
Player
Lilith says from playable characters
Not
aren't real.
the NPCs.
Yeah, your playable characters become NPCs in the next game.
Yeah, because I think Tannis and some of the other people were also present in the last game.
Yeah, Lilith and Tannis are from Borderlands 1, and so is Brick and Mordecai. And they were all in. Alright. Yeah, that enemy was a level 28, and so and that was 2 levels ahead when I was shooting it. Thank rocket launcher. Oh, I can finally buy that thing. While aiming down sights, Zane's weapons deal bonus damage and automatically apply their status effects when critical. At least it's not pre-sequel. I at least enjoyed the gameplay of pre-sequel.
Well, we were talking about the story, so...
Yeah, so story-wise, pre-sequel is just like, meh. There's not much going on there. Okay, so like, if you care more about like Handsome Jack and like his backstory, it's good enough. Otherwise than that, there's no other elements to it unless you're nerd out about the story. But I think that's probably like the last time like the story was kind of relevant in any meaningful way, because like we've been running into these NPCs and like only like maybe every 5th NPC, has some meaningful impact on the story. Tops. It's like, and then they just kind of stay in their little box, and that's it.
Where are you at? You're not even playing the game with me.
This map here is like ridiculously big too. And so I just like got lost into one of the other areas.
Consider showing up.
How about you play the game with me? Was this... Yes, this one was decent. But the levels are going by so fast.
They aren't surprisingly fast, aren't they?
Yeah, it doesn't take that long to get high level. The TDR is still kind of a better option when I got on. I mean, you're enjoying the story, right?
Not really, I'm just kind of ignoring it.
Yeah, that's why I listen to the podcast. I mean, I literally did that whole thing of just like playing the game Tiny Wonderlands. I pretty much did all that listening to podcasts and like playing the music up loud enough to where I can hear things and just turn like the voices down.
I guess that's fair. I don't want to like crap on the game, but I just like I don't really care about any of the characters, so it's hard to get invested in the story about them. Oh, I just said 50 because of the loops.
Neat.
But it's also because like I'm not very good at multitasking either, so like I can't focus on all of this that's happening. If I was playing the single player, it'd probably be a lot easier, but focus on the story.
I still can't see how big streamers do it, Like, how were you able to, like, talk to your chat and have cohesive conversation and not just, like, stop and keep your hands in your lap while you speak?
I think one of the biggest things that I've noticed personally is that they've got certain phrases that they'll repeat.
Oh, chat, did you see this, chat? Oh, look over here, chat.
Well, it's not necessarily the same thing, but, like, same patterns, I guess. If you're, like, also just going directly off of what someone says, it's not that big of a deal. What am I supposed to be doing? Do I need to be climbing this tower? Like I'm a bit lost here. It's like half a Eiffel Tower.
Every time I think like, I'm getting closer to you, I just run into another bunch of enemies that I kind of can't not kill. That might be the sole reason that you actually have XP coming your way.
And not because I've been killing people.
No. It doesn't count when you're doing it. Oh yeah, I got a new...
So I've got a question.
Yeah.
A while back, so I'm doing like quest stuff, so again, not great, not the best at multitasking here. Give me just a second.
We were debating our life choices. Oh, what? You got 30 seconds to do a thing. Okay, yeah, you better do that.
I don't know what they're talking about. 30 seconds to do
there's a
what?
timer on the right hand side that you gotta do.
Smack broken rogue site mark defend scanner. Well, that's just defending a scanner. That'll just happen automatically.
Alright, I should probably figure out... Oh, I'm getting closer to you. I'm coming.
Anyways, I was gonna say that way back in the day,
Back in the day.
probably about 10-ish years ago, there was this really big shift in like space games. And one of the big
Alright.
shifts was like space games became a thing, really. They started getting popular. And this idea of building your own ship became a concept. My question is, has there been any good games that have executed on making your own spaceship?
Was it at
It's
Star
not just, like,
Citizen or
buying a
whatever?
prefab. The like $1 billion game that's still early access.
Yeah, that's been early access for like 10 years.
I thought you just buy ships. I think that was their whole thing, is you buy their super expensive microtransaction ships, and that's how they made their money.
I guess
Like,
you...
you
as-
don't actually make your own ships.
Yeah, I think you can also... I think Elite Dangerous, I think, has some shipbuilding.
Okay, yeah, I've heard of Elite Dangerous before. Isn't that turn-based?
No, that's the... I think Elite Dangerous is the one where you are like a spaceship fighting other spaceships. And like she has like
Oh, okay.
realistic physics or whatever.
Yeah, gotcha.
Once you scan those IDs, the loot tracker should lead us straight to the fragment.
There was this one game called Star Maid, which I remember when it first came out. It was basically Minecraft in space. And I was pretty hyped for it. I was following their dev blog as they were coming out, and they're like, I remember them announcing, "Oh, I've made voxel-based planets," but because you can't really do a sphere with blocks, they had this weird like octagon-ish type sphere. It was really neat. I mean, I remember being really impressed by it. But then again, I was, pretty young at the time. And they also had space building where you could block by block build your own spaceships. And based on how many like thrusters you had and how much the weight of total blocks that you were moving, it was pretty involved and kind of determined the physics of how things worked. It was really cool, but unfortunately, I guess at some point when I wasn't following the game, the developer had just stopped working on it, just left.
Huh.
So it's like a very much a... I can't even call it half finished. It's probably like a quarter finished. There's a pretty expansive system, but there's nothing to do.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's incredibly disappointing as somebody who backed the game when it first came out.
So, but it did come out at some point.
No, it actually just went on Steam and it says early access on its Steam page.
And... Oh, right.
Release date 2014. So,
Yeah,
11-year
that's-
early access game. That's pretty bad. I would not recommend anyone buy the game, but I only bring it up because it had one of my favorite shipbuilding, just because of how you literally built it block by block. Like, you can build whatever the heck you want with that kind of mechanic.
I guess the first Kingdom Hearts game had a ship builder, which is a block by block builder setup.
Really?
Yeah, you made your,
I think
what was it?
that's-
It was like the
that's
gummy
fun.
ships or whatever. You just use it to go in between, and you basically played a mini game in between little areas, and it was just like its own little thing.
Oh,
Am I getting
that's
closer to
kinda,
you?
yeah, I didn't even know.
I guess I'm getting
I
closer.
mean, you could just fast travel to this place.
Nah, there's enemies in the way. They gotta shoot and loot and shoot again.
Yeah, skip the enemies. They're the boilerplate of the game.
The boilerplate.
And without further, that fancy word for waiting, here it is.
Fancy word for waiting.
That's not how holographics work. but okay.
Like a blood. Follow that jabber.
Tell you what, man, this game sure does love that potty humor.
Yeah, hopefully they slimmed that one down. If anything, I think this game was much more egregious than some of the previous ones.
Betrayed by one of my own. It's good to be back.
If I were like 10, it'd probably be pretty funny though.
I think I complained about that before. It's like, this game's rated M, right? It's like, you do realize that target audience is not 10-year-olds actually, playing on their dad's account or whatever. It's it's like,
Shoot, I'd be playing this game if I was 10.
we've just like desensitized us, like, shooting people and shooting enemies and things like that to an extent. Like, we actually have shown that more people are likely to be sympathetic in the case of things when the games are more violent.
Okay.
But apparently it hasn't been at least shown in some kind of studies, is that they are like shooting in games. It's like, I wouldn't want that to happen to me. So there's some like lotion amongst that. But still, it's like we've like forget like, this, if we were taking this in front of parents in like the 80s, they'll be like, oh my god, you can shoot their heads off and there's crazy guns and like you just shoot them. It's like, what? They'd be freaking out. Like, this dude literally splattered into bones and blood on the floor, like, and I'm just like, that's fine, that's totally fine.
To be fair, it's very cartoonish gore in this game. It's not very realistic.
Yeah.
They're like bursting into bloody limbs with like bones poking out, and the blood wasn't like bright red. Yeah, I'd be a little off-putting, but it's not. It's like they burst into blood mist and then kind of just disappear.
And that, to some extent, it's like we've almost cartoonified the villainous of it.
But
Here I am.
didn't.
Here I am actually playing the product with that cartoonishness and saying like, this is a good game, and trying to convince you to keep playing.
You can talk about something and not appeal. You can criticize something without full sail like ignoring it. You know what I mean? Like, I can criticize Skyrim. I can criticize Borderlands. I'll still play the game. It doesn't mean I despise it. You know what I mean? It just means there are aspects of it that I'm looking at, kind of sharing my thoughts about it.
Yeah, and
It goes for you, right?
yeah.
I just think a lot of people do get hung up in like the criticisms, because like if you ever heard like a streamer, one of the big things they avoid, and I guess if you end up growing that following, you'll probably have to avoid it too. But
The overly critical
one of the things
nature.
they avoid, exactly, being overly critical, because people take it personal. Because it's
Yeah.
like if somebody loves Borderlands, and here I am talking about certain features that perhaps they like I'm seeing in a different way, they may not really like that. And, that's understandable, but.
And I think that's
At
where
the
some
same
of the takes of Vinny that are pretty good. It's like when he is critical, they're usually pretty valid.
Yeah. And
This
Yeah, I
suit's
can-
getting crazy.
trying to figure out when did you go.
This area, I remember now. This is why I had some of the complaints about this game first time around, is that these maps are insanely massive.
Well, it was in the right spot, but like nothing was happening, so I was kind of confused. I had to wait for the story dialogue to finish.
What in the heck is exploding now? Oh my lord. Like 50 different things have exploded. Neat, I'm gonna die again. Well, if anything, that might actually benefit you. Thing is, I'll be brought closer to you if I did that.
Oh wow, my special actually works on this guy.
I lived. I can keep meandering over here and not providing any assistance to you. I mean,
That's a really good single player game I'm playing right now.
this single player game, which has multiplayer difficulty.
I think I see another person on my window. I think.
What the heck was that? This NPC just ragdolled across my screen like crazy. Alright, we'll say my special has come in handy
you
a lot.
see that, you're not supposed to say that. You're supposed to just suddenly burst out laughing.
I mean, oh yeah, I can't do that. When I see something crazy like that, I'm like, oh, neat. It's not like the funniest shit I've ever seen kind of laughter, you know?
Yeah.
I can't fake that.
Like we've seen it before. We've made games where we've accidentally done that. You know?
If anything, it's more funny when you
Desensitized
actually do it in the actual editors, when you are almost undeliberately trying to make it happen.
It can be pretty funny.
But I almost like expect it to be janky in a game in some way. Oh my lord, what is going on here? Get me out of here.
Yeah, game development can be pretty funny. One time, and you may recall this, but this has been probably should be about 11 years now.
Oh my lord, we're that
I
old.
once, oh, I know, right? And I start like saying things in decades. It's like, ugh. But you know, when I was making my first game project for the university, I rigged a horse
Oh, yeah, you mentioned this, yeah.
because like I needed to do this thing where I wanted like cowboys. Because like, have you ever heard of Sunset Riders from the SNES or Genesis or?
Nope, that
any
is
of
the
those?
first word I've ever heard of related to such a thing.
Okay, well, Sunset Riders was this like cowboy game where you basically it was like bullet hell super light to put it the easiest way to understand. The bullets are super slow. But you're cowboys and you shoot other bandits and stuff. You collect bounties, and that's like the bounties of the bosses. Anyways, I wanted to kind of rip off that game a little bit from my first game
Yeah.
in a very, very loose interpretation because I wasn't really trying to recreate their game or anything. But there was a scene in that game where you rode a horse. So I was like, okay, well, sure, I'll do the same thing, right? I'll go have my people ride some horses, but it was all 3D. My game was 3D. Sunset Riders is traditionally 2D, and I made a horse. Looked pretty good too. I was pretty proud of it, but I didn't have any idea how to rig something. So 3ds Max, there was this thing called like just basic bones, basic IK structure, which I guess is inverse kinematics. And I rigged up this horse as if it were a human walking on their feet and arms. Was not very good. But the funniest thing was like, and it just like really surprised me, was if you're not careful about certain deformations in your rigging, it can get really jank. And so when you rotated this horse, it would just collapse in on itself and become a little dark hole. It would like rotate infinitely until it just collapsed into a sphere. And that was just like the funniest thing to me. Just this horse collapsing into a sphere. I'd never seen that before. But, when you play a game, you don't generally see rigging that poorly.
Yeah, all those kinks have been worked out. And it's interesting,
Yeah,
it's like, have you seen like those little like memes where it will be like a guy's like jumping over a fence, and then it's a 3D animation, and then a dog jumps over the fence like the person, and it's like, inherits class human or something.
No, I don't think I've ever heard that.
Anyways, that's what it made me think of.
Sounds kind of right up my alley, though.
Yeah, nerdy coder jokes for the masses. Trying to think here.
Nothing wrong with liking a certain style of humor. I do need you to hop out of that menu, though.
Oh, we're trying to travel.
It's our next destination. We gotta go back to Sanctum or whatever it was called.
Sanctuary?
Yeah, there you go.
We've been going to Sanctuary for 2 games now, so...
3 games. Hasn't it been... Wasn't there a Sanctuary in Borderlands 1?
No, that was New Haven.
Oh.
And it was Concordia in pre-sequel.
VaultHunter. They says the operation was a success. But I've got good news as well. I know where the third fragment is. Right under the hobby's snout. You got it?
Oh,
Open the vault
I've missed a legendary.
fell swoop.
One fell swoop.
Wait, how did he say swoop?
One fell
I
swoop.
think his accent broke down there on that word. I can't tell. I always like listening to voice actors and think like, are they faking the accent? Well, obviously that guy is, because I don't think anyone speaks like that. But somebody's like doing a British accent. Because have
Yeah.
you ever seen those like reveals where, oh, this British accent guy speaks American, but then it turns out that's just his normal accent, the American one.
Oh.
And it's like, whoa, I would have never guessed. That dude is so good at the other one.
Well, apparently so, like, really nitpicky linguists can actually pick up on that. Because, like, the accents will be too mixed up across the Englishness
Oh, okay, yeah.
Because there are certain things that the more poshy areas won't say, or they say in a very different way in comparison, and vice versa. So,
Well, I do have, or at least growing up, I had a British friend, and yeah, that was a pretty common thing where they could just pick it out. Because I guess there's like so many different kind of accents. Like if I had to name the number of like American accents, it'd probably be under 12. If they had like 12 in just one little like county. I'm exaggerating a bit there, but still. Why are we playing like Borderlands the parenting? What's going on here?
I know. It's like they had this whole part with Ava in the middle. It's like, why? Why don't we just like put her off to the side in a way that doesn't impact her story?
Yeah, could she be off-screen parented by Lilith? I don't have to be here for it. That said, it probably doesn't matter if I'm here for it, because it's not like I'm paying any intense attention. Oh, is this another one of those fast travels?
They're fast traveling again? Oh, we are.
Yeah,
I have no clue why we came back. I need to inventory stuff real quick.
Teleport back and forth a dozen times. Sure, why not? Thanks, game.
You
It
think
doesn't even
they
tell us like where we need to be on the planet either, which is kind of annoying. Like it tells you what planet you need to go to, but then when you get down to the region or the zone, you look at the fast travel stations on the zone. Nope, no markers there. Just got to go anywhere. Oh, okay, never mind. I saw it. It was just hidden in a dozen other ones.
That'll just inventory
icons.
again when we get there.
Yeah, just hang on for a second.
And I definitely feel like we're on Eden 6 here, and there's a lot of spots where it's like, could we have not gotten a fast travel like any closer? Like, did it really need to be, you know, a whole map away? Man, they're really trying to sell me the Maliwan legendaries right now at low level. That Vlanoff was good. I'm kind of curious about this Tedior versus this. I might try to go probably take that.
I guess they just have some sort of like mechanic where if they designate like a village or something, there's just like NPCs walking around. And I guess they designated this whole building as a village or a town.
Okay, yeah, so
But it's just so funny to me to see like this random civilian walking in between these two big shots. Like one of those guys, like the Jacobs guy, isn't this dude like a multi-millionaire? Doesn't he own this place?
Exactly.
Why are these like random people just chilling in his house?
Actually, another funny thing to all that, think about it real quick. When we were doing the Sanctuary liftoff thing, why the world would all these people already be on the Sanctuary ship and not come out and see, like, what in the world is Lilith doing? You know, it's like there was no like alert for that. No one's gonna be like, I'm gonna go help, you know, dude. It's like, really? She's just out there, like, you know, suffering with like a whole, you know, COV army, and there's no defenses for that whole sequence, and then like everybody says they're already on the ship, and we had to do all this extra fueling where people were already living on the thing. So it was already up and running, habitable, but it just couldn't take off. Okay, so we can logic to that a little bit, but still you would think, well, maybe during the maintenance phase it might just blow up, you know, maybe we should probably do all this extra tests first. And so yeah. Oh, you already got the ride and everything.
Yeah, even got one that you can spawn in on.
If I
I'm
can
actually getting like noticeable latency in it though. I'm like doing some micro rubber banding here.
So the shorts for Borderlands don't do that particularly well. And it seems like my content has just become Borderlands and the one thing. I probably need to swap back and forth.
Get Monster Hunter Wilds. You gotta get a new game, not one of these old 5-year-old games, and then make shorts about those. The only timeless games out there are Nintendo games.
That's very true. That's why I've been doing a lot of the Mario stuff lately. And it's actually still quite a bit of content in those. Like the content here would be pretty fine if we were doing like cuts and I was explaining like the whole like documentary of 32 sounds. It's like what is this random documentary? It's just listening to or whatever.
I mean, the problem with that is also you've got like the dialogue of this game kind of interjecting in there. So.
Yeah, that's kind of a problem. I mean, I could just turn off the dialogue. I mean, it's literally a game where
turn
we
off
can
the whole game audio, so it'd be pretty strange.
I kind of need to know where the enemies are, and the music kind of makes for good background music every now and again. I have the dialogue pretty darn low. I oftentimes can't hear it because you can.
I mean, you listen to so many podcasts and stuff. I don't understand why you don't just do like essays on them.
Essays on the podcast?
Yeah, your thoughts, your perspective, summary of what it is.
There is such a wide variety. It would be kind of challenging, but I guess I get what you're going for.
I mean, I'm not suggesting you do it. I'm just saying. Yeah, there's a thing, I guess. Something that, we're constantly talking about multitasking, doing this and that, and it's like, you don't really have like a good solution. And I guess also there's like some part of like, I wonder if I could do that, you know what I mean?
Huh, alright. Keep talking.
Well, my time's already kind of maxed out, so it was more of a loose thought than it was a serious suggestion.
Yeah, that was the stuff I was bringing up with Sky Skipper, D-Boy. Just like, oh, you should look into doing this, like this very kind of coercive nature of things.
Yeah, and I didn't mean that in that way either.
No. You're like, I get your tone is much more understandable than his like intent versus his tone. Almost both seem to be guiding in that. Well, here it's like your tone is very like, just an idea that if you're looking for things to talk about, since I already am trying to do those things anyways. Whereas like in your case, the intent is like it's just an idea. Where in his case,
I'm a big just throw out 1,000 ideas and maybe one of them would be like, hey, that one vibes with me a little bit, and that's not necessarily towards you. It might even be towards me. Like I'll throw out an idea and I'm like,
his are very directed and like with like a pushy intent. Like you should stop what you're doing and do this. I'm like, all right, that's a little much to spring on one guy.
Dude has he's serious. You gotta get you in on the idea.
He still hasn't reached it back out or said anything.
Just do a cold call. Honestly, just do a cold call.
Yeah, I should. Probably over the weekend or something.
Yeah, find a good time. Ask him. Do the cold call. But anyways.
What else have I been watching?
Man, I need some suggestions and something to watch, because I finished up that Crapopolis, and I'm at this, like... Given it's not often, it's probably only once or twice a week where I need to pop something on. But I am, like, kind of bored with the streams.
Yeah.
Don't really want to watch one of those, and it's like, I could do some proper, thought-out entertainment, like a TV show or something.
So you want an actual TV show? I was going to say, like, those documentaries, but those after an hour and a half to 2 hours in some cases.
Well, I'm not looking for informative. I'm looking for entertaining.
All right, so I will admit, I have kind of been diving through the old Man of Action shows.
I'm not sure what Man of Action shows are.
So they were really known for, things like Ben 10 or whatever.
Okay, sure.
So they made Ben 10 Generator X. That was like their main IPs that they made original.
Oh, yeah.
And Ben 10 blew
Ben
10 blew the shit up and everything. But when they functionally got it's a group of like 4 guys, and when they got done with that, they did a lot of stuff for Marvel, so they did like a Spider-Man and that Hulk show that I brought up. And it's very much like the let's appeal to the 12-year-old boy kind of audience. I'm like, I'm still a 12-year-old boy on the inside. and honestly, the writing for most of it still holds up pretty darn well. Like the dialogue is like actually like meaningful content. There's maybe I think when it was the Spider-Man show had 4 seasons, and honestly, you could probably chop it down to maybe not even nearly that many. You can probably get it all into about half that because there's a lot of just like filler episodes. And it was an interesting setup because it was a show that had 26 episode seasons. Like their seasons were significantly longer during that time. And honestly, the episodes are, you can tell they were on a more of a budget, but still, it's like the content was there. And so it's just one of those older shows that actually like had good content. And like it's no wonder that the show like lasted so long. And I do mean like all their shows. They typically always got a second season, and everything.
That's true. Yeah.
They suffer. A lot of their shows suffer the problem of can you sell the toys? It's like that's why Generated Rex only had 2 seasons is because the toy sales just weren't there. It's not like the Ben 10 thing where it's like there's a new alien every week, kind of deal.
I don't even know who the heck's buying Ben 10 junk. But then again,
little kids.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's not really in our wheelhouse, so I guess it makes sense.
Given that show went on for like 5 different sub-series or whatever, and they just kept on making it. Pretty
it was the
impressive.
Scooby-Doo of the modern era.
That's a good way of putting it. I never thought of it like that. And even Scooby-Doo, like, it went on through multiple different iterations and series and subversions and all that kind of jazz.
It had like a dozen different animation kinds and all kinds of stuff.
And it still kind of lasted in today, and then they did that whole Velma thing. I'm like, really? Somebody at a TV studio was like, this is a good idea?
I don't know. It just seems so hateful to like so many different people. It's like empowerment through hate. It's kind of weird.
Yeah. That's actually a really good way to put it. It's like, let's, basically crap on a whole demographic of people because some perceived notion of powerlessness while being in the position of power, which is something more recently I was listening in on, talking about the whole ivory tower concept, which is usually more reference to like kind of elite attitudes.
Okay, gotcha.
And that usually kind of isn't a reference to like university, but it also means like anyone who's in a privileged power of some kind, sitting in the ivory tower and then imposing your opinions and will basically on other things.
Goes below. I get you.
And so now we're talking about people who are given a position of basically deep privilege to be presenting to the masses in broad, and then they're just going to squander it by saying that the whole demographic of so on, who whether they're old or whether they're young, is some kind of like villain of the sorts.
I just try not to engage in it. There's really no winning because
Oh yeah.
it is what it is. It does kind of remind me of the I was not expecting that latest Rick and Morty for that rent-free thing to pop up. That phrase.
Yeah, we didn't talk about that, but yeah, we'll get to that.
I think the last time we had played Borderlands, I used that phrase. I'm like, dang. And you could tell the writers were like kind of sick of the phrase, so they kind of had the character speak for them for a moment, where they're like, let's just let it die. Let it end. I'm not going to let it die. I'm going to go ahead and let you know right now. That phrase is going to be there for a while.
I personally have not, really used it or heard it too much myself. So when I heard it pop, I'm like, oh yeah, that was a phrase. I guess it was more popular when they were writing this.
That's true. I mean, I only hear, I don't hear it very often. But
yeah,
I do like to use it because it does describe certain things. It's like, if you ever listen to a song and it just kind of like pops in your head way too often.
Yeah.
Man, living rent free there.
And to kind of clear up the last conversation,
Oh yeah, sure.
that studios will actually put money through, and they'll still do it. Where there's hints right now that this upcoming Fantastic Four movie, is going to be in that kind of pandering light, no archetypical concepts that people all get behind. And so there's a concern about that with the thing coming out. It's like, can they really afford to keep losing that kind of money? And it really kind of makes you wonder, like, how much money are these people actually, like, putting out for these kind of things,
I just see it as they're so rich it doesn't matter to them.
But it's like, at some point, like, they're going to
is
burn
about
through someone's wallet, and they're not going to give you that money anymore, so...
Well, yeah, they won't give it to that director or that producer,
But then how many times will a different collection of writers and things also then become a problem?
Just from the very nature of them wanting to constantly try something new to hook new viewers, they're always going to be cycling people like that.
And to a fair extent, like, it's also the people who yell loudly on the Discord or the Twitch or not the gaming stuff,
Twitter.
but the Twitters and the Instagrams and the Snapchat. It's those people who are loud on that, because those appeal to those more normie environments where those producers have ended up themselves on their frequent social media, and so they're the ones who get the attention versus like YouTube comment sections.
I feel like a lot of the times these big producers and the big guys, lots of money that are basically commissioning these works of media. I have the impression that their insight into the common person's life is through Twitter.
Yeah.
Like they don't actually know what it's like to live in the boonies. They don't know what it's like to, live in a regular suburb. These guys are in their walled gardens. And their
Ivory
insight
Towers,
is- Yeah, but like, I almost suspect that a lot of the writing that I see in some shows kind of stems from that fact.
Exactly. And so then it's like what used to be like, oh, we did a marketing thing to go figure out the demographic and research. It's like now, well, we don't need to do that because we got this writer who says they're going to, represent and they use a bunch of other buzzwords that, try to be a stabilizer of some kind. Basically, like, it's almost like a laziness and like, we'll just not put the money into that marketing research up front and instead we'll actually go ahead and do this thing elsewhere. We're supposed to like twist the like tubes and stuff at some point.
Oh, okay, never mind. I was gonna say, how long are we gonna be in this room?
I remember in this area, like, you needed to like spin certain things.
They already did all that. I see you already know where to go.
I was seeing us the pathways on the mini map for us to.
I did notice that too. I was like really confused when I noticed it was blocked.
It's like, don't we go this way? But yeah, it's just kind of frustrating that so much money we pumped into that, and it's over and over and over again. And it's like, are you people not like noticing that your wallets are being slurped dry? It's like money doesn't become like a problem for them anymore.
No, exactly.
It's all about the message that we're trying to present. It's like, okay, but you're not going to be able to do that message forever,
Well, anyways,
Yeah, for Rick and Morty.
moving on from the conversation there.
Yeah, so Rick and Morty. What'd you think?
I'm trying to remember a little bit. Can you give me a quick summary of what happened? That was Beth was the assassin, right?
Yeah, so Space Beth was on a rogue mission because the bureaucracy of the Renegade group or whatever, or the Resistance or whatever, was going after our bug guys who we've seen since like season 1. And she was like, I'm just gonna go do it. And then she gets there and then the queen's already dead. And she's like, what? And they don't even frame her for it because it was actually this other scientist guy. And they had the whole joke about eugenics and everything.
Oh. Yeah. I mean, I was looking more for a summary, but I'll take it.
And it's kind of interesting because like they're really leaning into the Rick is now trying to turn a new leaf mantra.
That was kind of surprising because it was like he was really supportive of his daughter, and it was just like, this is new.
And they actually like draw attention to her like being the cool, which is interesting in like story mechanics. Like, oh, now they can have like, you know, Beth at home, but then there's also Space Beth doing things.
Cool
It's like
Beth.
it's not like, you know, a future thing where Beth is in future and stuff like that. And it's like, no, it's actually just clone Beth. So it's kind of a
It's a
twist on the nature
neat-
of like of that whole.
It's a neat little writing tool they've made for themselves. I think it's neat, yeah.
Oh.
I guess this is gonna be a boss fight. I'm
There's a
kind of
chest over here.
switching over here. I leveled up. I can use my new shield. So yeah, I thought that show, or I thought the episode was pretty good.
Yeah, I thought the pacing was pretty good, and the episode was overall pretty good. Oh,
I might have preferred the first one a little more, just because I do like those, you know, mess with the mind kind of things where it's like, oh, are they in a matrix? Are they? What is that all about? What are the ramifications of that? You know. But they're both pretty good so far.
You want to kill Wainwright, then you will have
Okay, but now smash them to pieces. Like, don't just leave them as ice. Don't do that cliche. Come on.
No, we got here just in time.
Ah, she's immune to my ice weapon. Who could have known?
Oh, my ice weapon isn't doing damage against the ice enemy. I thought we were doing Destiny rules where it's same type match.
Can I melt her?
That's actually kind of something that's interesting, is that Destiny runs the same type map ruling versus like the counter, the contrast map ruling.
Dude, she's like 10 feet tall. What the heck?
Oh yeah, she's really tall in the game. Like when you play her in pre-sequel, she's really tall. She's one of the few like reoccurring characters that we actually see.
You can play her?
Yeah, and she was one of the DLC characters for in pre-sequel.
It's kind of neat. Don't really care for her screaming 1,000 times, but okay.
Who the heck is immune to radiation? How do I get that
I
skill?
know. What is it? She's like immune to everything.
It's because we keep
fire.
hitting see the bars in the health bar, like the little like lines, the quarter lines. That
Yeah.
goes into like the immune phase or whatever, because we're just blazing through it.
Oh, she has different immunities based on which one she's in.
Yeah, when it's just like a pauser point. It's like you don't just like kill the enemy in like 2 shots. You actually like go through and get some damage from him. Alright, so if you didn't notice, actually the NPCs that spawn, they actually do go behind the ice walls that spawn. So that's a nifty little thing. Alright, easy enough, boss.
You just destroyed her.
We're the appropriate level.
That was actually kind of fun. Yeah, it was like a appropriate amount of non-challenge.
That's a new shield for me. The Ice Queen. That's a Jacobs. I don't have any snipers equipped, right? I got shotgun, assault rifle. I'll run this for a moment. I mean, in the case of things with Rick and Morty, it's like we're only at the beginning of the first season in 2 years. So, it's pretty wild that we actually even get a season to begin with. You got one of the guns that give you a shield?
I guess so. It's like just a big old LCD screen in my face.
It just reduces the damage. I had one earlier. not on this character, but you could crouch and it would just stay on as long as you walked.
Yeah,
I think
that's this one.
okay.
You didn't notice me crouching and it disappearing?
No, like you could uncrouch and just walk around normal.
Oh, okay. No, I can't do that.
I think
It
that,
stays on as long as I'm crouched.
yeah, that one just was like you could just walk around, but you couldn't run. Wait, try sliding first. Like do a slide, then just let yourself
did that.
stand up. Oh, okay.
I was trying that, but you just go into a crouch afterwards.
Ah, all right. Then maybe that's what was happening earlier.
Just need a walk to clear my head is all. Gardens always take. That's the founder himself, Singleton Talbot Jacobs. Quite the eye for detail he had, even if it caused him
I was just trying to jump to get a good look at him, and the person just immediately climbs on the statue.
Just mantle on the statue.
Yeah, like I wanted to get a good look at the face, because if you get up to it, you're too. At least I am. I'm too short to actually see the face when you're up close. So what does it want us to do? Reveal rooms?
Oh, there's a button.
What? Where'd that button come from? I swear that wasn't there a second ago.
I will say the pacing of the episode was also, like I mentioned that, but I was thinking of the part where they kind of do the obvious, like it's actually them arguing about doing the montage sequence or whatever, and it just is the voiceover of the actual event happening and the silliness. It's like, oh, you kind of know where it's going. You know exactly how it's going to go, as they're literally saying it out.
I do like it when they kind of go, they kind of just like throw in something wacky, like the one guy who Rick was sure of would always be there.
Yeah, Cisco's always going to be there, and that was the end, the credits sequence.
But I did think it was pretty funny though that it's just like, you know, somebody who just has no confidence in no one suddenly has super confidence in this one guy. Beth even calls him out on it. But like, I like when they do that kind of thing, you know. It's not necessarily consistent with the universe. Who cares, really?
Yeah, apparently I had to shoot the thing in the face after the dialogue was done.
Oh.
Yeah,
Okay.
this part
I'm
once
still here like staring at it, so I'm glad you figured it out.
Yeah, once again, I kind of remember I was streaming this. I think I might, if we needed to, I can always just pull up my stream, my old streams if we
I
need.
feel like it'd be much quicker to just like Google a walkthrough than it is finding a specific timestamp in an archive of streams.
No, it's just as good. It's just as good. Promise. I absolutely promise.
Yeah, you know, go back, watch the stream.
Watch my stream from like 3 years ago. It kind of feels weird that this game is pushing 6 years old. I'm like, man, Borderlands 2 was only like a few years ago. It's like, nope, Borderlands 2 was almost 15 years old. And I want to say,
And Borderlands definitely feels that old because not only does it look roughly like that, but more importantly, I bought it for $5, and that's the telltale side of a 15-year-old game. If for no other reason. It's honestly a pretty decent deal. I mean, you can't really go wrong for $5. Can't even buy a Chick-fil-A meal for that price.
you can't even buy Chick-fil-A for $5 anymore. And they're just handing out digital entertainment. I guess you gotta click on the audio thing to figure out where you're supposed to shoot, and then you can shoot it.
Oh, I see. Okay, it's a different location every time. Yeah, you just skip that one. Too much of a bullet sponge for me. It's gonna move on. I'll fight the regular ones though.
But the badass enemies, no, we can't do that. That far too many bullets will be wasted on such a thing.
Yeah, it takes too long. And they do like 2 shots. I really hate when enemies like do all of your health in 1 hit.
That is oftentimes quite a painful and annoying piece that is a little excessive.
This greenhouse was installed by my grandfather. First Jacob to sell firearms to someone without a mustache. Great vision and greater greed. It was him that made Jacobs into a galactic name.
Like, I'm okay if someone's gonna 2-shot you and it's like some super tactical game. Never okay with a 1-shot. There's never, in my opinion, there is never one good reason for a game to 1-shot you.
What about a tactical game in the sense of like XCOM or whatever, where it's like the alien weapon and they're like 2 feet away from each other and
Then you got 2 shots. One can bring you down to 1 health, and the next can kill you. But never 1 shot. Never okay with that in any video game. But for tactical games, I'm okay with 2 shots. For games like this, where you're fighting hordes of enemies, I don't want no 2 shots.
that's often sometimes the real frustrating part about Risk of Rain is that I'll often play on the hardest difficulty with some extra difficulty settings, and the earliest part of the game is actually the hardest part until you get basically what I call escape velocity.
Okay, yeah, I could see that.
And so it's just like you spend most of your time in like the first stage for the most part, but then after about the 3rd one you kind of hit escape velocity with the settings that I put on. And so it's just one of those situations that does kind of, it's kind of interesting because like it is kind of frustrating when you die from something like a 1-shot, but it's just like the very basic enemy's damage. But I turn on the settings that take away all your health but allow you to do stupid amounts of damage. So that's like that's the trade-off of that kind of situation.
Martin tripped in the factory and died of, well, the doctor had to invent a new name, but he called it fatal testicular devastation or some such thing. An innovator till the end, my grandpappy.
Why are there so many enemies around here?
See, you sniffed sorry.
Definitely not because I just skipped a bunch of them.
I'm like, there was like no enemies in here like 2 seconds ago and like 5 more just spawned. I just killed like 2 more dudes and I was a badass.
I just did the next spot of the story, and so now I have to travel back, so you're killing enemies they wanted me to fight on the way back. I actually didn't skip these enemies earlier, I did kill them all.
Oh, I think we actually go buy the chest this time.
The chest?
There's every time we do the Typhon de Leon little like voice pieces, there's actually a chest that spawned, or the chest that is available can now be open, even though it's always there on the map. And this time we can actually go to it because it's not like on the other side of the map.
Oh, this is fancy.
Oh, there's some stuff in here for you. That's a
Is this that?
It's a class
chest you're
mod,
talking-
but I don't think it's too particular amazing.
Let's see, where are you at? How'd you get over there? You're off the map.
Oh, it's just by the waterfall. You can just go under the waterfall.
Okay, I hadn't even actually been over there.
I guess there's
Gotta have
some
a
cell
hidden
material.
waterfall thing. That's like a requirement for games when you put a waterfall in.
You're darn right
And you
it
know
is.
what? That's a trope that I'll never get tired of. That's a fancy looking gun. Sure, I'll grab it. That's a dumb looking gun.
That gun has taken away brain cells, and it hasn't even shot anything yet. Oh, I kept wondering why my grenade sucks. I never put on the grenade mod that I actually spent in-game money on.
Well, what other kind of money could you spend it on?
Guns
Spend
and
on it.
shields.
I mean, you said in-game money, so I don't think there's external game money in this game.
Exactly.
Gotta buy your shark card so you can get your upgrade.
Don't encourage them. I bet without a doubt, Randy is eyeballing it. All right, the weirdest thing that I, for some reason, remember from that PAX presentation where they like talked a lot about the Borderlands 4 stuff was that Randy Pitchford kept saying like, when my wife is playing the game, and he said that like quite a few times, like, is she only married to you to play Borderlands? Are there no other people that also play this game? I gotta imagine your kids probably were old enough to play it and justifiable to the age rating. Not that the age rating even means anything when the parents can just be like, play a game.
Yeah.
It's not like they're like a legal enforcement. It's like, only kids under this age. Trying to think through my actual guns that I do have. I got the...
I'm trying to do my skills, so you'll have to give me a moment. All right. What do we got?
Yeah, the P right here is my odd one out. But we'll see how it works out. Oh, you're still running the one shotgun?
It's literally my best weapon. Does way more damage than anything else. You got your crisis outfit on.
I had tried to match it up to the environment a little bit as I play
You
faction.
ever played Crisis?
I've beaten Crisis 2 twice, and Crisis 3
Really?
once.
Why have you played Crisis 2 twice?
It's a long story, but I do suppose we have time. All right, so Crisis, I had Gamefly. If I'd ever tell you the story of Gamefly.
I think I vaguely remember, but you can tell me again.
Yeah, so I had Gameplay like in high school and stuff, and you know, it was actually worth value, but I did rent Crisis 2 at the time because I had the console that could play it, and everyone's like, hey, can it run Crisis or like play it or whatever? Like, all right, everyone's hyping this game up. So I played, I'm like, that was a game. I eventually acquired it later on PC, and at one point, yeah, and at one
That's
point,
really all you got.
yeah, well, also like at the time, like I wasn't particularly great with shooters and everything.
That's fair.
And
I
eventually,
really enjoyed it personally when I played it back then. So
yeah, and so later I like acquired all the Crisis games on PC, and it's like, okay, we'll do this thing here, and I was like, I'm gonna go play Crisis 1. It's like I never played Crisis 1 before, and the PC version of Crisis 1, and I'll get to the remastered things in a moment, this is a boss fight, by the way. So
you want to tell the story before, or
yeah, finish up. So
Here.
the PC version of Crisis 1 like was broken, and you just can't play it like at all unless you have like old PC hardware because they never, you know, recompiled it. That's why they did, yeah. So that's why they made the remastered versions of the Crisis trilogy, so they have that stuff, which has a weird thing. But I was like, all right, you know, just kind of want to play it. You know, it's like the Crisis things were always pretty cool. Whenever I get around to Crisis 1 later, I did end up acquiring like a Humble bundle, which had the remastered versions and stuff like that, so I could go back and play it now. But the weird thing is, in the remastered versions, mind you, Crisis 3 is probably the longest of the games, but for some reason, file size-wise, Crisis 2 was like 50-something gigs, where Crisis 1 and 3 were roughly about 20 on the remastered.
oh, that's weird.
I know, like, it's how, like, look into it, and it's just like, yeah, it's the re-rendered, like, cutscenes and stuff like that. I'm like, it really is, like, 30-something more gigs and things, and I guess just that was the way they did it, because when Crysis 3 was being made, 4K textures were relatively common for the most part. So it was just kind of an interesting little situation there. But yeah, that's why I played Crysis 2 twice, and why I played Mass Effect 2 twice and Mass Effect 1 once, and never finished Mass Effect 3. Anyway, let's do this boss fight.
You weren't a big Mass Effect fan? I can't believe it.
No,
Honestly, you don't seem like a really
did
big
actually
RPG.
enjoy Mass Effect 1, and then I played 2 twice, and oh man, it was so goofy with the DLC things on the PC version. I don't know, like how in the world they messed up that. Like, it's like, really? That was messed up and broken?
As you can tell, I'm not a big gun game fan, so Mass Effect didn't vibe with me too well.
And Mass Effect 3 was fine gameplay, but I was like, I went
everyone
from
hated it.
2,
It's so
and the gameplay-wise, it's fine. It's just more the same gameplay, and the story part is interesting that you can do things in Mass Effect 1, and they actually can carry over into Mass Effect 3.
Yeah, because that was back when, what was it, BioWare? They were making some pretty neat stuff, because they had done that for Dragon Age
Yeah.
Origins.
And that's a pretty nifty concept. Not really any game. No games really do that anymore.
No, they really don't. I cannot think of one that does. Honestly, and I bet you the main reason is just because the dev costs are too high. If you get so many branching like opportunities there, too
Yeah.
many like branching options, that it becomes infeasible to do that. So what you end up getting is these like endings that branch off. What? Ah, shoot. Deus Ex was pretty big on that kind of thing.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
oh, you can the ending. You have so many different. It was not less carrying forward into the next game, and more just
Oh.
a bunch of branching.
Well, you skipped the boss spawn animation, but there it is.
Skip anything. I was itching my darn nose.
It's just a
just
slide.
fall.
Yeah, you slide into the hole.
Do we have to?
If when it's doing the tilted thing or whatever. Yeah.
It didn't look like I kept going down. Oh, okay. The big glowy, cool area that looked like I wanted to stand in. You do not, in fact, want to stand in it.
Correct.
I want to stand in the bunch of Viking symbols that are glowing. That's what I want to do.
Is this a cool enough boss for you?
I'm out of ammo. Oh my god. Well, won't be cool when I run out of. Wait, where's the music? Now that you mentioned something.
I mean, it's playing.
I don't hear any music. I think my music's glitched. No, you're right. I can hear, but it's very quiet for some reason. I do actually like this, that there's like no other enemies. It's kind of cool. So my
Well,
focus is
yeah,
actually
it spawned the fodder enemies.
I didn't see any of them. Oh wow, that just like launched me up 1,000 feet.
Yeah, phase 1 done,
Where do we hit him? In this big glowy spot.
I suppose.
I do like no damage though, that's the problem. Okay, here we go, this is doing damage. Wow, big beams.
But yeah, I remember those days, and honestly,
What
I'd
the-
probably never go back and finish Mass Effect 3, but I'm not
Well-
missing out on much.
You know what, it was Mass Effect Andromeda that everyone hated.
Yeah.
3 was still okay. Hey, how do we avoid that?
Well, I avoided it.
No, I asked how, not did you.
I mean, do whatever I did, I guess.
Or you could tell me how you did it.
I just was like,
Instead
oh,
of
was
being
this
all
over
coy
here?
about it.
Well, no, I was just like over here, and it's like, what do you mean how you avoided it? It's like I didn't even get touched.
See, stand back by the wall is what I'm hearing. Or is what I expect to hear, but I'm not hearing.
Well, I also didn't like see the thing. See, there's like the stuff on the ground where it's like he's swiping here. It's like I didn't see that either.
Yeah, for the big beam, I didn't think you showed one. I guess and takes a lot of damage. What? I'm getting XP for just shooting it?
No, there was fodder enemies behind you.
Oh. Well, good job of helping me up. Yeah, I actually kind of enjoyed that.
Oh, I got a legendary.
And by kind of, I'm probably understating it. You got loot? Oh, there's my loot. Whoa, that is a lot of damage. But every time there's something that does a lot of damage, there's always like a massive downside to it.
Oh no, your stream isn't maintaining enough signal. You're stuttering now. That's lovely. It's only when playing this game.
Trouble. Gotta get that upgraded internet package.
I know, right? Do you have those
Actually, it's kind of-
cosmetics?
Did you just kill the vault monster for real? Come on! Now there's no point in any of
Sort
this.
of ectoplasmic main.
I guess I'll
Alright, the DLC stories are actually bearable.
pilot tanks. They're like popcorn shrimp.
That was the main story.
Yes, this is the main story.
You guys really suck.
The
The whole
DLC
main
stories are at least, like, entertaining.
We didn't kill the people who took, what was her name, Tanis or Lilith, their power.
This is TS. You mean Maya?
Oh yeah, there was, okay, yeah. She was named Maya, wasn't she? And Lilith. Anyways, we don't like go avenge her or anything. Oh wow, look at that! Look, it's the Borderlands symbol.
Yeah, we gotta go in
Is
it.
this a Borderlands reference?
Yeah, the one with the Batman one did not do very well, numbers wise, but the Skyrim one really did.
Well, yeah, there's a lot of reasons for that.
I'm just surprised I actually get some decent yeah, click on the thing there. I'm surprised I even get decent views with those shorts as I do.
As well as Pandora and a fourth vault symbol I do not recognize. Could Tyrene Calypso be telling the truth about the Great Vault? I am concerned. Come out and we will return to Sanctuary together. Lilith will want to hear about this.
Ah yes, we'll tell Lilith because we need to.
Like, how is there just uncommon junk in this? Well, it should all be legendary stuff. Literally, none of this stuff is worth grabbing. Like, how do we go to a vault? Like, why even bother going to the vault, dude? Just go raid some bandits. The junk in their, like, chest is way better than this place.
I mean, we did kill the Vault Monster, get loot, and then get a bonus. Objectively, the
Well, this place is garbage, but the boss had good stuff. Well, he had this weapon. I don't know if I'd call it good. Shoots a little too slow.
I got this Jacob's pistol. It's got like a big magazine for a revolver.
I do like how varied the effects on the guns are. The guns aren't generally samey.
Shocking
Wow,
yourself?
I nearly killed myself.
Oh, I see.
not do
Look
that.
at that health bar.
Just touch it.
Did you restart the timer?
No, I don't know what you're talking about. I meant to restart it again. I need you to stand still for a minute. So, does that hurt you?
Nope.
Oh, wait, hang on. It'll be right there.
Do it, do it, do it.
Okay, so I can hurt myself, but I can't hurt you. How does that make sense?
And she's gone. Oh man, when you killed that monster, I was like, shit. But we've got our eye on a bigger prize.
I didn't even try to fast travel.
The Calypsos just took Tanis.
No! Damn it! VaultHunter, I need you back on Sanctuary now!
No, you don't.
It's like, but do you? Do you really? Do you really mean,
mean,
me on
us-
Sanctuary?
Us being there is the catalyst for their downfall. So if we just never show up, they'll be in a perpetual state of neutrality and never have an issue.
So go do the DLC, is that what you're saying?
No. No, that's not what I'm saying. do the DLC next time.
Do you have one you
I
want
am-
to try?
I'm kind of feeling, like, why are you asking me? I don't know anything about these DLC. I'll tell you what. You give, I'll let you choose whichever one. Because you did pretty good choosing the DLC for 2. As much as I complained about all the other junk, I did enjoy the Dune reference one. Mostly because we got to drive around with those cool boats.
Yeah, I'm trying
I'll
to
let you-
think.
I'll let you choose one. I mean,
I started the Lovecraft one, which is honestly just, you know how we've been in the Eden 6 with Jacobs and Wainwright?
yeah.
Yeah, it's basically, that's the entire
Or that.
DLC, is just more of the same kind of thing, but with a Lovecraft vibe.
I do enjoy Lovecraft stuff. Well,
There's
I don't hate it, but
there's
I
a
do prefer
samurai
way over-
western one. That one's pretty nifty.
And I mean, I'm not really big into samurai, but
Well,
that's
it's
okay
more
with
of
me
a
too.
like a western in its flavor, but with like,
Western's basically wasteland. So
well, that's the thing I'm getting at. It's like the hybrid. So it's like wasteland with grasslands with like western, but it's also got like Japanese aesthetic.
I mean, I'm down for any one. We can
There's
play again.
the
We'd like to play some Monster Hunter though soon.
there's
or
a
eventually.
handsome jackpot one, and then there's the Krieg DLC. The handsome jackpot, you know how we went to like Opportunity, and there was all this stuff in Opportunity. It's
No.
basically a whole DLC that is just that
What opportunity is.
from Borderlands 2.
Well, yes, because it's Handsome Jack, but I don't know what it is.
So it's just, that's the aesthetic. It's just the Hyperion stuff.
Oh, okay, I see. Oh, the that was the name of the city.
Yeah. So that's the that DLC. Then there's the Krieg DLC, which is fleshy, if you want to use those words.
That's certainly a.
Do you
way to
want
describe
to have more Psycho Bandits and fleshy aesthetic? And I will say,
I guess I'll let you just choose one. I'm not. I'll just play it. You know.
I'm kind of leaning.
my opinion. After I play it.
Kind of leaning to the bounty one, just because it's the presentation's a little nice.
Okay.
I will say I do kind of want to at least play the Krieg one, because that one is somewhat
I
shorter.
killed myself.
Stop talking about Tannis like she's already dead. There's still time. Incoming transmission.
Wait, why are they talking about Tannis like she's gonna die?
Foreshadowing.
I see.
It's not gonna happen. Yeah, 'cause you eat what? Did you get masks, right? Pre-order bonus. Let's try it.
No! Spoiler! We are crazy close to opening the Great Vault. We found the key, BT-dubs, and it is
Can we just like let these people have the Great Vault? I'm sure there's nothing but garbage in it, anyways.
And since our followers go apeshit every time we maim or murder one of you, we put the next one up to a vote.
Would you believe it? Weird Scientist was our most requested murder. Beat out Annoying Robot by just a little.
Damn it! Speaking of murder, Carnivora's getting hungry. Show's starting soon, and it's gonna be a killer. Tannis. They're gonna kill her if we don't do something.
Oh my lord, she's talking again.
Risked everything to keep her
Dang.
She deserves better than dying for the entertainment of two psychopaths. We're going back to Pandora. VaultHunter, save her.
But what if I don't?
Calypso's mentioned a Carnivora. Go find Vaughn. I sent him to an old Crimson Raiders outpost in Devil's Raisin. He's been monitoring COV movements. He'll know what's going on.
You got this, VaultHunter. You freaking animal. Go save that science lady.
Go save that science lady.
I don't know if I've got another mission in me.
It is getting on the later side. We're at the 2-hour mark. I was gonna say, do you want to see the Lovecraft environment? I can pop into my other character and skip all the cutscenes and not give you any real spoilers. If you're just curious about that environment.
If we want to jump into it, we just jump into it. If we want to do the DLC, but it doesn't matter.
What in the heck is
If
my...
we want to save the Lovecraftian one for later.
What am I... God, am I a guy? Oh, we got the things. The... In your inventory. We got the
things?
The relic.
What you talking
We got the relic unlocked, so you have a relic equipped now.
The Gilded Ray? Oh, yeah, but there's no artifacts. I haven't found one of those yet.
Oh, I got a couple if you need one. Come over here. Come over here, son.
I probably thought that they were just like the skill mods or something and never picked them up.
No, I think they just started spawning pretty recently in our game.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, like mine's actually pretty dope. Like, watch when I slide. Yeah, stand over there.
I'm watching. Ugh. Dude, you gotta wipe.
I got one. I got a couple here for you. Pick,
Yeah,
just pick one. I've kind of ended up with the best one of the bunch.
Dang, 52 damage boost? What in the world? Dude, these are like ridiculously powerful.
Yeah, so you don't like swap them out as often.
Cryo efficiency. Imbue slide with radiation. Oh, does only the slide get the bonus damage?
Yeah, that's just what I'm doing here.
Wow, that's really dumb. Yeah, I'll just take the elemental damage boost since my person's all about elemental damage. Thanks. I think I picked it up. Oh, okay, it auto-equipped it.
Incendiary damage 5 for your life and momentum while 5 for your life. Versus pistol damage and incendiary damage. And that's the bonus damage and the shard fire rate. So I get bonuses for radiation, so.
When you did your slide, do you see how underneath you there's like these green tracks?
Oh, those are normally there.
I know, I thought you were leaving them though.
Oh.
So, yeah. Anyways, you should grab the rest of your artifacts or they disappear forever.
I guess get rid of the hear that a lot.
Just sounds like fireworks.
I guess it's level-based damage, which is always welcomed. There is the arms race thing. You can always play that for like a minute.
Alright. Oh, hop off.
Wait, did I do damage to you? Oh no, you did damage to yourself.
What? I was already off. I guess my character stuck around.
Oh, okay, yeah. Ah, well, that is quite the place to end it for today. Well, thanks to the dudes that rolled up. Wait, did someone just really join in the chat? Just to say join and then not actually do it? It's hard to tell if anybody's actually still in the chat or not.
I didn't get any notifications or someone else there, so you're good.
Oh no, that's someone in the Twitch chat.
Oh,
Like the Twitch chat, like okay, like between either chats, there's no like,
that.
you know, timestamp. I mean, I get it. It's meant to be a live chat, but when it's moving kind of slow, that's just how things go. All right, that's gonna be